On today's Minute of the Apes, I would like to thank my new Instagram follower, Piggy Pies and Pizza and Pasta, for reminding me that today is National Beer Day.
Hey, cheers.
Clink those bottles.
Clink, clink.
And they invite us to go and have beer and a hot slice of pizza. They're
We
on Lower
all
Greenville.
clinked, but nobody took a drink. I'll fix that.
Well,
I might need a fresh one.
I was about to say I don't have any beer in there, so I can't do anything about it. Here, let me just suck on the leftovers.
Wait, you're going to suck on what? Hey.
Hey, backwash.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! Exercise would an ape make a human down. It talks. We are the keepers of the divine bound. It is our only reason for survival. We are determined to know what the apes want, war or peace. The only good human is a dead human!
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd.
Hey, Todd.
It's Tuesday. That was Sean. And you are?
I'm Richard.
Oh, look at that. I've got Sean and
Yay.
Richard. It is Tuesday. We are to minute 37. Let's get into the business at hand. Sean, what is going on with minute 37?
All right, we start minute 37 with people taking pictures of the chimps and the scientists in their car and ends with the zoo crew checking out their new digs.
All right, let's take a listen to minute 37 of Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Your luggage, ma'am?
Of course it's mine.
Address, please. The zoo.
As of minute 37, we have a planet's worth of humans, if I can say that, plus 2 living apes and 1 dead ape.
So, I would love to get to the business at hand, but damn, your wife is amazing. Once again, my wife says, there's the fridge, there's the pantry. Your wife is so sweet, she hears it, and she just sweetly gets
I
us
will take
another
another
beer.
one, thank you.
So, here, let's do a toast to JJ, even though you now have empty bottles. That's to JJ on National Beer Day.
She's refreshing all of our beers.
We begin
Yay.
with the Aponaut couple pulls up at the Beverly
Wilshire, yeah.
Now, I'm not surprised, especially in that day and age, to have multiple cameras. You know, now you might, I don't know, you might even have people capturing it on their cell phones and whatnot.
Yeah, of course they're gonna have people. These are human-sized talking apes. They should be more people crowding around them, recording them.
And that's what I'm saying. I am not surprised by the number of cameras. What I'm surprised by is front and center, actually just off of center, is a guy with a notepad who's peering in the car as though he doesn't know what's in there, and he's taking notes for his exclusive dig on this story. What is he doing?
What street? Read all about it. Apes talk like humans.
Yeah,
Can you believe it?
That is exactly what I felt. This dude, I don't understand what he thinks he's doing, and I know that's just the director trying to say we got to have people from all aspects of reporting.
There, yeah.
I want to bring up the first shot that we have, though, of the scene. We have the assembled press behind them. But the first shot is one of those, we're looking in the car with the reflection of the reporters behind it. And I thought it was actually really nicely done. Right? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm taking
Here,
No, I definitely agree. As you pull up, and I think
they're lit well enough that you can see the interior, but you've also got the reflection on the glass of the reporters behind them. I thought that was actually a really good shot.
That is the key to that. That you're exactly right. That's lighting. You have to kick the source so that they reflect. So they did take some time to establish that shot, and it's a very well done shot.
Just so you get this sense of them in the car and the people on the outside. I mean,
but what's weird if you look at this is the reflections. Hang on, I'm going to make sure I'm right about this. The reflections don't match
with the actual
cut.
people that are
so
there.
They probably shot the two elements on separate days.
Yeah.
Possibly. And I mean, there's a level to which the shot may not look like it's the same thing, like they're kind of superimposed on top of each other.
Yeah. I'm just looking at who the people are. But anyway. Yeah, okay, so
they didn't do the reverse where we're inside the car looking outside of the reporters, and this is the guy with the notepad that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I did wonder initially, there wasn't a lot of people assembled, and I did wonder if it was publicly known that this is where they were going to be right away, staying at the Beverly Wilshire. I didn't know if that was apparent. I would have expected to see more people, because I would like, I'm going down there.
Right.
I got to see these apes. I've got to see these talking apes.
So they walk into the Wilshire, and that lady has a dog that is not on a leash. Sorry,
which wouldn't be common today. Can we talk about Mr. Monopoly?
Thank you. I had him there too. What is that?
I did have a note here. They make a strange face at the doorman when he comes open the door. They seem clean shaven people. They seem people with beards. Is the mustache what really freaks them out?
There's some lines that Zira says that are not actually
in the movie.
In the movie.
Do tell.
So basically, when the Mr. Monopoly, okay, so it's the doorman basically he's a doorman, so he's got the big gigantic hat.
Yeah.
He's got a suspiciously
big
mustache and white gloves and a jacket, and he's the one who opens the door for them, right? That you'd expect the doorman to do when he walks up. So Zira apparently looks out, sees him, and goes, "Look, a priest."
What?
Yes. And then when he reaches for the door, she goes, and she's supposed to pretend fright. "Goodness, what have I done?"
Okay, yeah.
Which is why she looks so unusual.
It's strange at him, yeah.
Exactly. Why
they
she
just
looks
cut
so
out
unusual.
the reason why.
I don't understand why she would say that, because the humans of her Earth would have no religious significance.
The closest thing would be an ape, but we've never seen an ape that has a mustache or facial hair.
Robes. Yeah,
I would understand if she was afraid of him because he's so ornamentally dressed with that mustache. I would understand that, and that's kind of what you get by the way they've cut this, is that she's taken aback. And there's some weirdness to the cutting of this, because usually if we were doing Pretty Woman, that would be the man. Here's all the press, and she would be scared of that. The press would come, and he would be the gentlemanly type that says, "Madam, sir." But they don't take that moment with this.
Or if this was based in England, I could see if it was a beefeater that had a spear next to him or something, you get freaked out by that. But just a guy opening a door weirds you out.
I'm ready to talk about the next minute specifically related to fashion and then what we're seeing right here. But we'll just stay in this moment right here. This is a very antiquated looking doorman to me. I don't know. Did it look modern for 1971?
Well, I think they're doing their best to kind of say he's the doorman. So they're giving him the ornamental dress.
I would assume that they are not playing up what LA is like in this time, so that would be something that was actually positioned at the door. It's not like.
But if you're also playing fish out of water, you have to give the
strange things happening.
Yeah, you have to get this "I don't belong in this land" moments.
I don't. I mean, we can go over the fact that she says, "Look, a priest. Goodness, what have I done?" That doesn't make any sense for her character. It's not what she recognizes as a priest. And why she'd be alarmed, but it explains why she looks so unusual with some weird kind of apprehension when he comes to open the door. Most people would not get that, why she looks just kind of like frightened and angry or weird. It's because she had a line and she gets worried about the doorman coming to the door.
So one of the things, and we've said this before, that the minute by minute structure lends itself to, that is
more critiques.
That it's where you get so microcosmically focused on things that are wrong. The cuts of when Mr. Monopoly shows up and puts his face there, they react. Now, it does stay with the reaction long enough that if you want to get technical, he has enough time to open the door and get back to leave it open.
Right.
But it actually, I mean, if you really watch how those things are cut, There's a really famous thing out there about Bohemian Rhapsody right now, and I don't know if you watch it, where the guy talks about why this is not good editing, why that shouldn't have won. This is another example of
I did see that example where they said if we would have edited the acceptance speech like they did the actual movie. Yeah.
So this moment, if you're looking at good editing, this is not good editing. Does it work? Yes. Is it the way it should work? No, because just all of a sudden the doors magically open. You need to have a moment of the door swinging.
The door's open and he's pulled back. And
yes.
Now, this is where we actually see the two bodyguards that we really didn't see earlier. They've come from a car behind, and they're now actually helping them out of the car to kind of keep the press and the public away.
And I did have a note about this. I couldn't tell, were the people holding the crowd back from coming into the hotel, or were they just polite and not coming into the hotel?
I would like to say that Mr. Grayhead off to the side looks a little bit like my favorite writer, John Irving. So I'm glad to say that John Irving, back when he wasn't gray-headed yet, got some work.
What I loved about the fact is the two bodyguards get Cornelia and Zira to lead them in, and they just like, man, Lewis and Stevie. Yeah, they can call him behind. Well,
they're just humans.
I did notice, though, Stevie's hair is now down.
Oh.
Yes.
Stevie's
now relaxed. Yes,
and
she's in a
it's
bright
very
pink
bouncy
outfit.
when she goes by. Woohoo!
Her hair is down. With her hair having down, she actually looks more like Albina from the previous
episode. From the previous movie.
It looks a little more familiar now with her hair down as opposed to being up with the glasses. And she's wearing a kind of a bright pink outfit. So we're letting us know that everything's kind of relaxed and calm in this situation going to the hotel. And even our animal behavioral zoologists are not on the job right now. They're relaxed. Sorry, that was hard for me to say. I don't know why.
They're not on the case.
They're not on the case.
They are on off time.
So to your point, they then walk into the hotel. The shot is from up above, right? Off as if we're on some terrace
like
or the top of the stairs.
Which that is a very odd thing. That's a great shot from the perspective that they're seeing the opulence of human society. But usually what you're going to do, and especially because that's on, you've definitely put a crane of some sort in there. Well, that's true. That may have an overhang where they simply decide to shoot down. I was trying to figure out why they didn't actually truck it down to her level to where she feels like suddenly she's in the surrounding.
Right, that would have been amazing. Yeah.
Or what they should have done is cut over her, even if they cut over her shoulder and done the pan down.
That's what I was going to say. If they started big like that and you do the camera move down to her and then you go behind and then you see how big it is. So you've shown her as small, then you go down and you're on her perspective seeing how small she is.
What I do want to talk about is this shot and then one more in this same minute. For some reason, they've decided to do the actors walking towards the camera as opposed to kind of seeing it through their eyes as they get to this giant moment. Like this, and there's another shot in the same minute where we see them walking towards the camera, even though this is up above.
There's so many ways to economically shoot things like this where you don't have to worry about cranes. Let's say that is an overhang where they've mounted a camera. Yeah. It's just a mount, and they don't have a crane. You can, you start here, you cut to her reaction, you cut over her shoulder. It's the Robert Rodriguez school of directing where you simply put more cuts. You've got the setup of the light. You don't have to worry about the light. The light's there. You might tweak a few things, but the light is there. So I know, but the economy of this is we got a shot that says they're here. We got to move on because they didn't have a big enough budget. But that's also where Hollywood's wasteful. You can do these things without
without spending too much time on it. And but the overhead shot does give us the big chandelier. Right. It gives us the giant columns.
We see the gift shop out to the side,
big red carpet,
the Chanel sign. I mean, I almost think this was an intent to kind of show the hotel that they may not have been able to get from
You're absolutely
ground
right.
level.
So, were there leash laws in the 70s? Why is this lady's dog? She has to pick it up instead of. I mean, come on.
So for the podcast, audience, you heard the dog barking. There is a woman in the hotel room, in the lobby, with a dog not on a leash.
It looks like a little from Gone with the Wind dog, Toto. It looks like a little Toto dog.
That would be Wizard of Oz, not Gone with the Wind.
I'm sorry, Wizard of Oz.
The dog barks at them. It's not a.
I'll never go hungry again.
Well, now I won't go hungry again.
That's right. I mean you, Toto.
I mean, it's not really in the script to have this moment, but you almost wonder if the dog was staged to let you know that they're odd.
They're two animals
But again, I find that to be the odd thing of this.
Because it's not funny. It doesn't fit in the comedy moment.
They didn't play it up.
It could be funny if you wanted a moment to cut before. here's what you allow to happen. The dog goes up, and when the moment Zira just reacts, then you cut to her so that we get in
looking
on it,
right at the dog,
and
or
then
whatever.
that becomes a moment. This plays as nothing. It plays as a bitch with her dog who's bugging somebody instead of what it should be, which is animal upon animal.
It places the moment that Sean's wondering about this chaos, like, why is the dog on a leash and barking around in the hotel?
Right.
I mean, it's not in the script. It may have been intended to
Everybody
set
say
something
bye,
up.
JJ.
Bye, JJ.
It may have been intended to be set up to do something with it, but it really doesn't execute well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that their thoughts are correct, but I know that these films, they're trying to be so smart about just shoot it and let's go.
Economical with shots or what?
Right, because their
timing or whatever.
budgets, you